ओम वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अखण्डं सच्चिदानन्दम् अवाङ्मनसगोचरम्
अखण्डं सच्चिदानन्दम् अवाङ्मनसगोचरम्
आत्मानमखिलाधारम् आश्रये भीष्टसिद्धये।
आत्मानम् अखिलाधारम् आश्रये भीष्टसिद्धये।
अर्थतोऽप्यद्वयानन्दानतीतद्वैतभानतः
अर्थतोऽप्यद्वयानन्दा
अतीतद्वैतभानतः
नन्दानतीतद्वैतभानतः
गुरूणाराध्य वेदान्तसारं वक्ष्ये यथामति।
गुरुनाराध्य वेदान्त सारं वक्ष्ये यथामति।
एतेषां
पुत्रादीनाम्
अनात्मत्वम् उच्यते।
अनात्मत्वम् उच्यते।
एतैः अतिप्राकृतादिवादिभिः
एतैः अतिप्राकृतादिवादिभिः उक्तेषु
श्रुतियुक्ति अनुभव आभासेषु
अनुभव आभासेषु
पूर्व उक्त श्रुति युक्ति अनुभव आभासानां
पूर्वोक्त श्रुति युक्त अनुभव आभासना आभासना
आभासानां
आभासानां
पूर्व उक्त श्रुति युक्ति अनुभव आभासानां उत्तर श्रुति युक्ति अनुभव आभासैः
उत्तर श्रुति युक्त अनुभव आभासैः
श्रुति युक्ति अनुभव आभासैः आत्मत्वभाददर्शनात्
आत्मत्वभाददर्शनात् पुत्रादीनाम्
अनात्मत्वं स्पष्टम् एव
अनात्मत्वं स्पष्टम् एव
किञ्च प्रत्यक् अस्थूलः
अचक्षुः
अप्राणः अमनाः
अकर्ता
चैतन्यं
चिन्मात्रं
सत् इत्यादि प्रबलश्रुति विरोधात् अस्य पुत्रादिशून्यपर्यन्तस्य जडस्य चैतन्यभास्यत्वेन घटादिवत् अनित्यत्वात् अहं ब्रह्म इति विद्वत् अनुभव प्राबल्याच्च तत् श्रुति युक्ति अनुभव आभासानां बाधितत्वात् अपि पुत्रादिशून्यपर्यन्तम् अखिलम् अनात्मा एव पुत्रादीनाम् अनात्मत्वम् उच्यते. Beginning with the view of Ati Prakritaha, for whom Putra is the Atma, up to the Bauddha Shunyavada, Bauddha Mata, Shunyavadi. All these are all their views. The views about Atma is not Atma, it is Anatma. So Anatmatvam Achyate. Without any effort on our side, that is on the side of the Vedanti, Advaita Vedantin, the successive views dismisses the preceding views. That is what the author says. Purva Purvokta Shruti Yukti Anubhava Abhasana. It is Abhasa. It is not true. It is the views which are wrong, fallacious. Shruti Yukti Anubhava Bhasa Abhaseshu. Ati Prakritadi अतिप्राकृतादिवादिभिः एतैः अतिप्राकृतादिवादिभिः उक्तेषु whatever the views beginning with atiprakrita ukteshu shruti yukti anubhava abhaseshu. With regard to the ukta, the views, what they said, in keeping with shruti yukti anubhava abhaseshu, पूर्व उक्त श्रुति अनुभव आभासानां श्रुति युक्ति अनुभव आभासानां all the views, all the views made by the earlier people, that is abhasa. It is not real abhasa. It is abhasa shruti, abhasa yukti, abhasa anubhava. So abhasa to be connected to all the three words. Purvokta shruti yukti anubhava abhasanam, the abhasanam purvokta shruti abhasa, yukti abhasa, anubhava abhasa, tesham abhasanam. Uttara, the succeeding, that is also abhasa. That cannot be real. So one abhasa dismissing the other abhasa. That is why abhasa, it is there in both the words. With regard to the abhaseshu, shruti yukti anubhava abhaseshu, purvokta shruti yukti anubhava abhasanam, uttara shruti yukti anubhava abhasehi. So abhasanam abhasehi. Abhaseshu abhasanam abhasehi. Atmatva bhadarshanat. With regard to the false perception, the views of the atiprakrita, etc., and pura yukti anubhava abhasanam, all the abhasa, the views which were not real, the views in keeping with shruti yukti anubhava, were dismissed by uttara. That also abhasa only. So purva shruti abhasa dismissed by uttara shruti abhasa. Purva yukti abhasa dismissed by uttara yukti abhasa. Purva anubhava abhasa dismissed by uttara anubhava abhasa. So the following views dismisses the preceding views. So atmatva bhadarshanat. Atmatva bhadarshanat. Atmatvam is contradicted. Atmatvam contradicted the views, the following views, the subsequent views dismisses the contention with regard to Atma made by the earlier views. So Atmatva bhadarshanat. Putradina manatmatam spashtam. The Vakya itself is spashtam. So anatmatvam is clear. So if we dismiss the contention of the uttara shruti yukti anubhava abhasa, who is the one in that order? Who was the last person to present his views to dismiss the earlier view, the immediate preceding one? That is the Shunyavadi. So if you dismiss Shunyavadi, all the other views stand dismissed. Prathama malla nyayena. Apara Bauddha hasare vedamagra asit Shunyavadi. But the other, it dismisses all their views, all the contentions with regard to Shruti, Yukti, and Anubhava also. So this passage is important. The last class we saw, I told that the words referring to the Shruti passages, but we need to discuss on this. Moreover, so here in this passage we will see the author dismisses all the earlier abhasa views. Abhasa darshanam. Abhasa darshanam means the views which are not real. How? Kincha pratyak stulaha chakshuhu apranaha manaha ityadi. Here before we see, we have to note the views which were presented by all these schools of thought, the philosophers, philosophy. They also quote from the same Shastram Upanishad. They also quote from the same Shruti, and they give yukti, reasonable yukti. It takes something to dismiss the yukti. The yukti seems to be rational, logical, but another logic is there which dismisses this logic. That is different, but seems to be rational, relatively rational, and anubhava also. So we will see each one now. First is Shruti, because Shastram being a Pramana. So when the Shruti is quoted, then the Shruti Vakya, we cannot just dismiss it. We have to substantiate as a Siddhanti, and the Purva Pakshi goes to the same Shruti, which we agree, and the Purva Pakshi also agrees, Shastram Pramanam. Then we cannot simply dismiss the Shruti Vakya, because both have consensus on accepting Shastram as a Pramanam. Therefore, we have to present the false, the wrong notion of the Purva Pakshi. There, how they quote, though they are quoted, how a certain passage out of context they quote, that we have to present, and how it contradicts the other Shruti Vakya. See, Shruti Vakya should not contradict. If they really contradict, then we cannot arrive at the Tatparya. That is why we say, the Sampradaya, we say Shastram should not be studied. Because Shruti itself dismisses its Vakya. It means a Shruti trying to take the students step by step to arrive at that which cannot be dismissed. This is a prakriya, this is a method. Shruti itself says this Annamayaha is Atma. Then later Shruti itself dismisses. Anyontara Atma iti Pranamayaha. What about Annamaya then? The Shruti said. Annamaya begins with, but one transcends Annamaya. Then comes to Pranamaya. Pranamaya is not final. So, therefore, if we stop with Annamaya, that is our mistake, not the Shruti mistake. So, out of context quoting the passages, that is one thing. And there are Vakyams in the Shruti, the Upanishad, which can be classified into Prabhala and Nirbhala. Prabhala Vakyani, Nirbhala Vakyani. Prabhala is strong Shruti quotations, which cannot be dismissed. And of course, we have to accept there are apparent contradictions, but apparent contradictions have to be reconciled. Apparent, the reconciliation is what is the form of a sutra given in the Brahma Sutra. Tattu Samanvaya. The Acharyas in the tradition Acharya has done reconciliation. It is not contradiction through his bhashyas. So therefore, our Bharatiya Darshana, we have a system of arriving at the Tatparya of the Shastra. Not only to reconcile the Vakyas of the Upanishad, different Upanishad, also to arrive at the Tatparyam of the Shruti based on this Prabala Vakya, Prabala Shruti. And also, we take the support of secondary statements, Avantara Vakya. And all these different schools of thought, they presented their views, but out of context, they quoted from the Shruti. Out of context, when we analyze, we understand it is out of context, and there are various criteria involved. So out of context, they quote, and and they mispresent the Tatparya of the Shruti. So that also we have to point out. So where they went wrong, how it is wrong, and what is the Tatparya also we have to show, and we have to present that from different Shruti, reconciling different Upanishad, different Shruti. Shruti says Atma is Pratyekatma. Paranchigani Vedanat Swayambhuhu Parang Pashyati Nantaratman Kastidiraha Pratyekatmanam Aikshate. Katopanishad Pratyekatmanam Aikshate. Avrita Chakshuku Amrutatvam Ichan. So Pratyeka is Atma is Pratyeka. The Jnani, understanding the nature of Atma, how he understands by Avrita Chakshuku, he withdraws the sense organ, withdraws the mind. Amritatvam Ichan, Avrita Chakshuku, Pratyekatmanam Aikshat. He sees Pratyekatma. Amritatvam Ichan. Amritatvam not in the Jagat, because Jagat, in Jagat there is nothing Amrita. There is nothing permanent. So Jagat is subject to change. Gachati, the Jagat, all the objects. Therefore, he withdraws his attention from the Jagat and focuses on the Pratyek Atma and discovers this Atma is Amritaha, Amritatvam. Amritaha is not subject to time, it is not subject to destruction. Avrita, Chakshu, Amritatvam Ichan. Pratyek Atma. So it's withdrawal. So withdrawal and focus on the Atma, therefore Pratyek. The Atma is Pratyek. So the Atma is Pratyeka. What about this Sharira Manasangata? Sharira Manasangata is also Atma. That is not in the primary sense, in the secondary sense. Atma is Pratyeka. Then the Sharira Manasangata with which we interact with the Jagat. So it is as though it is exterior, as though it is external. As though it is external because it is not physically Atma being everything. So therefore, there's nothing Bhagyaha, nothing Antaraha to Atma. But this body by its sense complex, relative to that, there are other koshas. Yes, they are subtle. Because of the subtlety, therefore, we say innermost, inner. But there is not, Atma is really speaking, it is not inner and outer. It's everything. With regard to the subtlety, sukshmatvam, therefore it is at inner. Now, this Sharira Manasangata with which we interact with the Jagat, that is also called Atma. not in the primary sense. It is to start with. Our abhimana with the shariram is what makes us think that our shariram, the sharimana sangata is atma, because of our abhimana identification. So therefore the sharimana sangata is atma in the secondary sense. But is it really atma? See, if it is atma, if our view is the sharimana sangata is atma, it must be consistent. It must be always atma. At all times, all periods of time, this sharimana sangata, the body mind sense complex, must be atma. No, at no time you will not consider, you will not be in not touch with this sharimana sangata. But it is not so. It is not consistent. It is not our consistent experience. How do you say that? In Sushupti Avastha, deep sleep state, what happens? There is no abhimana with the Stula Shariram. If Stula Shariram is me, is myself, even in the Sushupti Avastha, deep state, I should be having abhimana with the Stula Shariram. In the same way, if mind is me, the deep sleep state, I should have abhimana with the mind. But it doesn't happen. But it is not so. In that avastha, deep sleep state, there is complete unawareness of the body, the sense organs, and the mind. Then how can you say that Sharira Manasangata is Atma? So therefore, Pratyek, they are not Atma. That is why Pratyek, Pratilomyana, Anchanat Pratyek. Whereas Pratyek, Atma, that is consistent. How do you say that? In Jagrata Avastha, Pratyek, Atma. Sapna Avastha, Pratyek Atma. Sushupti Avastha also Pratyek Atma. Because in Sushupti Avastha, also there is, even though there is no anubhava of Atma, but after you wake up, you recall. Therefore, there is a witness, nirmanaska sakshitva, as Pajadishikara said. Because there is a recollection, pratyabhijna, there is a recollection of the experiences of Sushupti, therefore there must be a drashta. So, drashta sakshi, therefore Atma is there. It is all the time, it is there, all periods of time, it is Chaitanyam, shines, Bhati. So therefore that Atma is now compared to the Sharimana Sangata, compared to the Jagat. Jagat is Jada. Sharimana Sangata, Jada. And they are, because they are Jada, therefore they are impermanent, Anatma. So Sharimana Sangata, Jagat, starting from Jagat, Putra, Anatma. Sharimana Sangata, Anatma. Whereas Atma is, it is Alupta Dirka, always ever awake, it is ever awake. Doesn't go to sleep. So where it is, it lies within. It lies within means it is not Jada, it is not external, neither external nor internal. It is not impermanent, it is ever present. Therefore, Pratyek. So one need to have the penetrating vision. The vision should be Shastra vision. That is why Guru will say, Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya. That Jnana Anjana. Then you will recognize this Atma is Pratyeka, Pratyekatma. And here you can see the author quote from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, which reveals the Swarupam of Atma. Atma is, it is Astulaha. So Pratyeka, then Astulaha. Astulaha, Ananu, Saraswam, Adhirgam. All these are negating statements. Atma is not Stula, Astula. Because we have the notion of that Atma is stula, gross. It is not gross. It is not gross, it is subtle. No, that is also not ananu. Is it so small? No. Is it short? No. Harasvam. Is it long? No. That's why Pratyekatma, it is you, it has to be you. That which doesn't have any of the attributes, any dimensions, it can be measured by any by any measurement cannot be measured. Because it is you. That is Swarupa. If it is subject to measurement, then Rasva, Dirga, all these will come, Stula, Anu, etc. It is above all, transcends all. So therefore, by saying this, the notions what we have with regard to Atma, it is negative. All are negative. Neti neti, this is neti neti, the Kriya. This is negated because we have Abhimana with the Shariram. Therefore, by presenting this the Shariram is not Atma. So the attributes of the Shariram are imposed upon the Atma. Therefore, one takes oneself to be a Stulaha, Anuhu, Rasvaha, Dirgaha, Ityadi. That is why the Upanishad presents in a negative way that Atma is not Stula, not it is not Ananu, not. And even when he says Anoraniyan, then we cannot we can't conceive of Atma as an object. Anoraniya, subtler than the subtlest. It is not subtle, it is subtler than the subtlest. Na rasva na dirga. So therefore, Shariram is not Atma. All the interactions, all through our life, our interaction happens through the Shariram, the Sharira Abhimana. Is that therefore, when anything happens to Shariram, or anything happens to that which is connected to Shariram, we think that it is happened to us, to happen to Atma, because Vimana of the Shariram. That is negated. Astulam, that one Vakya, one word negates. Astulam. So that notion about the Atma is negated. So our body is not the Atma. Ati Prakritaha, he said, Putra is the Atma. Putra is, it is Parak, completely Parak. So negated by saying Pratyeka. Then come to the Shariram. Shariram is also Parak with regard to Atma. That is negated. Gross body cannot be Atma. What about sense organs which are subtler than the Shariram? Shariram is gross and relatively subtle than the body is the sense organs. Sense organs are Atma. Who says? That's Charvaka. We saw Charvaka says. But the Shruti says Achakshuhu. Antaka Shruti. Divyo Hamutah Purushaha Sabhagya Abhyantara Tejaha Apranaha Manaha Shubhraha Aksharat Paratah Paraha Achakshuhu. By saying Achakshuhu, it is Achakshu. Achakshuhu is from Yatadadresham Agragi Bhagotram Avarnam. Achakshuhu doesn't have Chakshu. So Chakshuhu is an Upalakshana, negates all the other sense organs. So if sense organs are the Atma, but Upanishad should say Chakshuhu is Atma, but Achakshuhu, the Atma is without eyes, without ears, without hands, without legs. Therefore, sense organs cannot be the Atma. Sense organs cannot be the Atma. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, Sarvendriya Gunavasam, Sarvendriya Vivarjitam. Atma is Sarvendriya Vivarjitam. Atma is free from, devoid of all sense organs. Atma is as though functions through the sense organs, as though it possesses sense organs, as though it has eyes, etc. But as though that's why it creates a notion that it has eyes, ears, etc. But it really doesn't. Sense organs, etc. In the presence of Atma, the Sakshi Chaitanya, they function. And there is an Adhyaropa, therefore, sense organs are Atma. That is negated by Shruti Vakya. Achakshuhu, Apranaha. Next one is Apranaha. Atma is not Prana also. Not Prana, not mind also. Again, the Mundaka, Aprana, Yamana, Shubhraha. Atma is not Prana, not mind. So, then what is Atma? Pranasya Pranaha. Atma is Pranasya Pranaha. That which makes the prana, prana. That which makes the prana function, in the presence of which only the prana functions. Minus that, prana ceases to function, it cannot function. Minus that, mind cannot be the mind. Minus that, eyes cannot see, ears cannot hear. So, therefore, that which makes everything function, that which makes everything really as it is, because of which everything is. So, that is Atma. Therefore, pranasya pranaha, manasaha manaha. So that is Atma. Where it is said, the Kenopanishad. Kenopanishad, beautiful statement we are going to see. The Acharya's commentary on the Vakya. Shotrasya Shotram Manaso Manoyat Vachoha Vacham Savu Pranasya Pranaha. Chakshushaha Chakshuhu. Ati Muchya Dhiraha. Dhiraha Vivek. So Viveka is involved. By saying this, Pranasya Pranaha, Manaso Manaha, Chakshushas Chakshuhu, without which they cannot function. Therefore, they cannot be Atma. What about Buddhi? Buddhi also not Atma. Buddhi is Vijnanamaya Kosha. That is the Kartrutvam, Karta. The Shvetashvara Upanishad says the Buddhi is, the Atma is Akarta. Anantascha Atma Vishwarupo hi Akarta. Therefore, Akarta, the author decodes. Atma is Anantaha. It is Anantaha, it is Purnaha Atma. It is infinite. Shvetashvara Upanishad, Vakya. Anantascha Atma Vishwarupaha. It is in the form of this Vishwarupa, this Jagat. It appears as this Jagat, and it is Akarta. So it is Akarta, non-doer. So therefore, Buddhi cannot be the Atma. The Vijnanamaya Kosha cannot be the Atma. Because Agam Karta is that notion that is looked upon as a Sharira and as a Kosha, that is of the Kosha. Vijnanamaya Kosha belongs to Vijnanamaya Kosha. Therefore, that is also negated. If you can recollect the Gita shloka, Karmanya karmayah pashyet, akarmanya cha karmayah, sabuddhiman manusyeshu, sayuktah krishna karma krit, Atma is Akarta. Atma is Akarta, one who knows is Buddhiman. So in the presence of Atma, all the actions take place. Indriyas function, body function, mind functions. And what about the Atma? It is ever a witness, Sakshi Chaitanyam. Always it is a witness. Rupam Drishyam, Lochanam Drishyam. Tadrishyam, Uttamanasam. Drishyadi Vrittaya Sakshi. Rigeva Natu Drishyate. Rupam Drishyam, the forms are seen, for which the Pramanam is eyes, Lochana. So Lochana is the Drik, with regard to the Rupa, the form which is seen. Forms are objectified by the eyes. So therefore, the eyes are the seer with regard to the forms. What about the eyes? That itself is subject to Drishya, subject to objectification, subject to seeing. By what? By whom? By the mind. And what about the mind? The mind only vrittis are there. And the vrittis are objectified. By whom? By Sakshi, the witness. And what about the witness? Can witness be objective, right? No. The witness, Sakshi Chaitanyam is always Sakshi. It is Trigeva, Natu, Drishyate, Kadapi na Drishyate. It is not subject to objectification. Objectification. It cannot be subject to seeing. We cannot perceive it because it is very much there in all the perception. So therefore, Buddhi, by saying Akarta, Buddhi also is dismissed. All the actions are superimposed on the Buddhi, and therefore there is a notion that Buddhi is Atma. So Buddhi, which owns a sense of Kartrutvam, it cannot be Atma. That is why Atma is Akarta. That is why Bhagavan also said in the Gita, Karmanaha Vibodhavyam, Akarmana. What is Akarma? What is Karma? The analysis of which leads to the understanding of Atma, Anatma. So Buddhi, not Atma. What about Ajnanam? Ajnanam, which is as such, it's obtained in the Sushupti Avastha, or it is obtained at Ananda in different degrees of happiness. Priya, Moda, Pramoda. That is also not Atma, and also not Atma conditioned by ignorance. Ajnana Upakita Chaitanya. That is also not Atma. How do you say? Kaivalya Upanishad. Kaivalya Upanishad says, Aham Vijanami Vivikta Rupo Nachasti Veta Mamachit Sadaham. Mamachit Sadaham. Aham Chit Chaitanya. Sada. Always. Aham Chit. And I am not subject to to the knowledge of the knower. There is no one who is a knower of me because Agam Chitta. I am always Chitta Chaitanya. So therefore, ignorance cannot be Atma because ignorance is also it is also known. So therefore, ignorance cannot be Atma. I know everything. Agam Vijanami Vivikta Rupaha. Achasti Veta. There is no knower of me. Agam Mamachit Sadaham. Achasti Veta Mamachit Sadaham. Agam Chit Sada always. So therefore, the Atma is, it's categorically said that it is of the nature of Atma. Therefore, Ajnanam cannot be the Atma. And also Ajnana Upagita Chaitanyam, that is also not Atma because Chinmatraham Sadashivaha. Again, Evalya Upanishad. I am pure consciousness. Then where is pure means? Chinmatroham, Chinmatraha, Matra. The word Chinmatraha means it is not conditioned by, not limited by. It is not mixed with. It is pure. It is pure Chitta, Chaitanyam. And Sadashiva, it is ever Shiva, auspicious, Shubha. It is. Chinmatroham Sadashiva. And there is no no Ajnanam. Trishu Dhamasu Yadbhogyam Bhokta Bhogasti Bhavet Tebhyaha Vilakshanaha Sakshi Chinmatroham Sadashiva. And Tamasah Parastat, another place, it is said the Kaivalya Upanishad itself, Tamasah Parastat. Tamasaha is Ajnanam. So, therefore, Tamasaha Parastat. Bhuta Yonim Samasta Sakshim Tamasah Parastat. The Kaivalya Upanishad, the last part of the seventh mantra. The whole mantra, need not be quoted. Only the last part is important. The mantra Umasahayam Maheshwaram Prabhum Trilochanam Neelakantam Prashatam Dhyatva Munir Gacchati Bhuta Yonim. That part is not required. Only Samasta Sakshi. I am the Sakshi of everything. Tamasah Parastat. Tamasah Parastat means Tamas not there. Tamas not there means Ajnana not there. Therefore, Atma is not Ajnanam. Tamasah Parastat Sakshi Chaitanyam of the nature of pure Chaitanyam, Shuddha Chaitanyam, knowledge, intelligence. So therefore, that is Chinmatrogam Sadashivaha. Therefore, Ajnanam is not Atma. Ajnana Upagita Chaitanya also stands dismissed. And what about the Atma is non-existent? Asat, the Asadeva, not Buddha quoted, but we say Sadeva idam agre asit. Asat asit, Asat eva asit, iti the Apara Buddhaha, Apara Buddhaha, what they quoted from the Chandogya Shruti, Asadeva idam agre asit. We say Sadeva Swami idam agre asit. We have to interpret the meaning of the word Asat. Asatyeva idam agre asit means this, what you see, this Jagat, it was in the unmanifest form. Not that non-existence was there. If non-existence is there, and if you know that non-existence, then it is not non-existence. It's not complete non-existence because you know the non-existence. As we saw again the Panchadashi. When you say something is shunya vritti. Shunya vritti also is subject to witness. The witness is never witnessed. The witness cannot be negated. When you say shunya, what is shunya? The shunya is, when you say that, it implies there is a knower of that shunya. So there is a knower. So asat asit, if you say asat asit, and Panchadashikara said asat the non-existence was there. How do you know non-existence was there? Nirjagat Vyoma, as he said, Panchadashikara, Nirjagat Vyoma. Nirjagat Vyoma is the Nirakasha Vyoma also is possible. So that therefore the Sat, the Atma as such, it is there, and it is all the time. It is there, whether the Jagat manifest or Jagat manifest avastha or unmanifest avastha. So it is always, it is there, whether it is Purva or Para, Agre or Paschat. Idam Agre, before the Srishti, or Srishtehe Paschat. Sat Asit. Sat is always Sat. Without Sat, even Asat also, as its Adhisthana means Sat. That is what I said, Asat. Asat, which is non-existent. Non-existent, in that non-existence is itself has got existence. That is supports the non-existent. Without Asti, there cannot be Asat. Asat Asti. Asat Asti. Asat also has got Astitvam. One person asks this about the Maya. Question about Maya. The Sankhya, probably that person may be a Sankhya. Trigunatmika Maya, we say. Maya is made of three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Sattva, Rajas, Tama, Gunatmika Maya. But Brahmashaya Maya, we say. But they say for them, Maya, the Prakriti is independent, it has separate existence. They are Dvaitavadi. And they substantiate saying, Maya has three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Sattva aspect belongs to Paramatma, and Rajas to the Jivatma, Tamas to the Jagat. So when they can exist, when Maya can exist independently, then how can you say everything is Mithya? Maya exists independently. Because Paramatma is Sattva, Sattva Guna, Sattva Pradhana, Ishvaraha. And Jivatma is Rajas. That is why subject to Janma Marana and does karma, enjoys karma pala. And Jagat is Jada. That Tamas aspect of Maya comes for the Jagat. So Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Then why you say it has dependent existence on Brahman? Maya can exist independently. Now, what is that? What is that exist? Maya. Maya exists. Maya asti. Astitvam Maya. So where Maya has got astitvam. Astitvam belongs to Maya, or astitvam belongs to what? So Maya exists when you say the existence of Maya belongs to Brahma. Maya cannot exist independently. Maya asti, when you say that asti of what? Asti of Brahma. Brahma is asti. And Maya has got astitvam, therefore it's asti. Maya has its dependency. Ashtaya. That is why we say Brahma Ashtaya Maya. Maya cannot exist. When you say exist, it is Brahma eva. Brahma eva. Therefore, Maya asti when you say. It is Maya is Vidya, therefore it is Brahma asti eva. Astitvam of anything, including of Maya, belongs to Brahma eva. So therefore, similarly here also, Asat, non-existent exists. Non-existent exists, therefore existence is there. Non-existent is with regard to a thing you can say non-existent. The thing is not there in the room, for example. The book is not there on the table, non-existence of the book. But the book is there somewhere else, not on the table. So non-existence exists. And also, how do you know the non-existence of a thing? There is Drashta, the seer is there. Can you say the seer is non-existent? No, the existence, he exists. So therefore, there is nothing called non-existence. And from non-existence, nothing can come also. Therefore, Atma is not non-existent. It is not Shunya. The non-existence, that Asat view, Asat Vada also dismissed. And it is existence, Brahma alone, which appears as this manifest, which alone manifests as this various names and forms, Jagat. So it is pure Satya. It is manifest in the form of the Jagat and our experience, various experiences of happiness. So therefore it is not Shunya, it is not Asatya. We don't require any proof because it is self-evident. Therefore, there is nothing called nothingness or Shunya. Suppose if Shunya or non-existence are the truth, then the life itself has no meaning because it has nothing, purposeless, meaningless. So all that is there is nothing. Nothing means then what is the meaning of life? What is the purpose of life? Jivana Lakshyam Kim. Jiva doesn't have any Lakshya, the life is meaningless. So therefore it is not Asatya, it is not nothingness, therefore it is Sat. Tat is Sat, Satyam, Asat. Tat Satyam Sa Atma. Therefore the entire Jagat is nothing but the manifest form of the same Sat. Jagat resolves into Sat and Jagat evolves from the Sat. So it is Sat alone. So therefore it is a truth which is revealed by the Shastra. Therefore the statements of the Shruti is quoted by the different viewers, different schools of thought, Darshanikas, they are refuted, completely refuted by Prabala Shruti Vakya. Prabala Shruti Vakya. And the Shruti Vakya more consistent, not contradicting the other Vakyas. Therefore, Putra Adi Shunya Paryantasya, starting from Putra up to Shunya Paryanta, all the contentions were dismissed by strong statements. Strong statements of this Shastra, Shruti Vakya. So therefore our contention that Atma, Satyam, Brahma Sat, it remains irrefutable. It remains irrefutable. Therefore, you have to conclude that Atma is self-conscious. It is self-evident. It is not any one of them. It is not Jada. And therefore, it is not impermanent. It means it is permanent. And another thing is we should note that we generally try to confuse Atma with Chetanatva. Atma is Chetana or Achetana. The Chetanatvam, Achetanattvam is with regard to the Upadhyam. And also similarly, the mind also sometimes the consciousness, or sometimes it's confused with the mana mind avastha, the avastha of the mind. It is not. What is Chaitanyam Atma? Atma is self-evident. It doesn't require anything for its illumination. Swayam Bhati. What about what about Achetana? Achetana, it is not Swayam Bhati. It requires the support, the help of something else. The sense objects are there. How do you know sense objects are there? Sense objects are jada. You know by sense organs. Or the sense organs, they are sentient. The sense organs are conscious. Sense organs are conscious because they illumine the objects. But are the sense organs really conscious? No, sense organs are also jada only, because eyes, ears, etc. They function only when backed up by the mind. So sense objects are jada. Sense organs are also jada, and backed up by the mind sense organ functions. Therefore, sense organs illuminate the sense objects. Therefore, we say sentient. What about the mind also? What about the mind? When mind is not there, sense organs cannot illuminate sense objects. What about the mind? It means mind is conscious. No, mind is also not conscious. Mind is also jada only. In fact, the Srishti Prakaranam we have seen in many places. Mind is made of sattva material. It is made of sattva. It is jada eva, mind is. So mind is nothing but this, the vritti. The vrittis are drishyadi vrittaya sakshi. They are also available for objectification. Therefore, since mind also subject to witness, therefore mind also is jada. Anything which is subject to witness, subject to perception, they have to be jada. Therefore, what is chetana and achetana? Sentiency and insentiency with regard to only the manifestation of Chaitanyam to the Upadhi. Upadhi being there, and if there is no manifestation of the Chaitanyam, then we call it Sachetana. If it is there, then it's called Chetana. Even the same person, the human being, the Chaitana Purusha, he becomes Achetana when the prana leaves the Sharira. What is Chetana, Achetana? Chetanatvam, Achetanatam, it is with regard to only the manifestation of Chaitanyam to the Upadhi. The Upadhi is, therefore, there is only one thing which is Chaitanyam and Jada. But Jada alone becomes Chetana, Chetana. In the presence of Chaitanyam, Jada is Chetana, Anatma. And in Chaitanya, when the Upadhi doesn't reflect the Chaitanyam, when there is no manifestation, then it is Jada. And when it manifests, it becomes Chetana. So therefore, that's why we say Sarvam Atma Eva. Anything other than Atma. Atma, when we say everything is Atma, then Anatma also including Atma. But to start with, we say Atma Anatma Viveka. Therefore, Atma is Chaitanyam. Anything other than this, Anatma. So Jada. So other than Atma is Jada. Atma is Chaitanyam. It is a Sakshi. And anything other than Atma is Jada. So Jada is Atma, but Atma is not Jada. We have to note that. Anything other than Atma is, then we may think there is something other than Atma. There is nothing other than Atma also. When it comes to Vivahara, we say Atma, Anatma. That is to distinctly understand what Atma is from Anatma. Because there is a confusion with regard to that Sharira Mana Sangata being Atma. Therefore, to distinctly understand, by applying our buddhi, viveka, therefore, to displace Shariram as not Atma, we say it is Anatma and Atma. Atma iti. Shariram is Anatma. Other than that Shariram, the Sakshi is Atma. But Shariram also exists. It cannot exist without Atma. Therefore, Shariram Sangata is Atma, but Atma is not the Shariram. That equation always we need to understand. So therefore, ultimately we say everything is Atma. That is the final stage. Since we have the notion of plurality, therefore we say Atma, Anatma. And if it is Anatma, it is Jada. Atma is Shuddha Chaitanyam, consciousness. Sentiency, insentiency, that is different. That is with regard to the manifestation of Chaitanyam through the Upadhi. When the Upadhi doesn't manifest, then it is Achetana. When it manifests, it is Chetana. Best example is human beings. As long as we are active, we are alive, we are Chetana. We belong to the Chetana category. The moment the prana leaves, it is a body. It is not we don't refer to the person by the name. It becomes just a body, a Chetana. Therefore, this Atma, now since it is a Sakshi, self-evident, self-effulgent, which illumines everything. So that which is self-evident, Atma cannot be objectified. Whereas Jada is subject to objectification. Therefore, Ajnanam is Jada, because it is objectified, it is illumined. The illuminator, the Atma is there. Therefore, the Jada Vastu requires Sakshi Chaitanyam to reveal its presence, whereas Atma doesn't require. So therefore, all the contentions which the earlier people made, they're all dismissed. They're all Jada, they are impermanent. They are not self-effulgent, they are not Atma. All of them can be objectified because it is available for objectification, and because they are illumined, and because they are come to be known, come to perception. Therefore, they are all objects, and because they are objects, they are not permanent. Therefore, anatmatvam spashtam eva. Anatmatvam spashtam. That which cannot be objectified, and that is in every perception, and that is not subject to any limitation, that is Atma. So therefore, that which is seen, drishyam, anything which is drishyam and objectified is permanent. Why drishyatvat, gatavat, we say. Yat drishyam, tat jadameva, gatavat, anityam, gatadivat. Anything that is perceived, objectified, it is jada. It is jada anityatva, because it is impermanent, therefore it is anitya. So, therefore, anything which we come across in the Jagat, they are impermanent. They are impermanent, they are subject to change. They are subject to change. They don't stand independently. They are bound, therefore impermanent. And it is available for your knowledge. What about Atma? Atma is witness Sakshi, not available for objectification. It is distinctly known from that which are inert. So therefore, the Jada which are impermanent and perishable. In contrast, the Atma is permanent and imperishable, perfect Aksharaha. So Gatadivat Anityatvat, with all the Jada Vastus, Anatma are dismissed. They are Anatma, they cannot be Atma. And minus that, what is left out is Atma, which need not be proved because it is self-existent, self-effulgent. It doesn't depend upon anything for its existence. So therefore, it is self-existence, it is conscious, and it is Anantaha, it is Purnaha. It has not come to existence any point of time. Therefore, self-existent Atma. And does it require to be complete? No, it is ever complete. So Atma is there all the time. It has not come to existence at any period of time. Natvevaham natujasam natvam neme janadipaha nacheva nabhavishyamaha sarve vayamatah param, as Bhagavan said in the Gita. So therefore, everything, every object, every namarupa, they owes its existence to the existence that cannot be denied. So therefore, what is there is only the Atma. To understand this, we need to have that Sukshma Buddhi, and step by step the author has presented the different contentions. So having come to this, then the wise person says, Agam Brahma iti vidvat anubhava prabhalya, vidvat anubhava, the experience of the wise person. Agam Brahma asmi. That is the anubhava. That anubhava is not a special experience. It is experience, is there in every experience, and that cannot be denied or contradicted by any other experience. Every experience supposes the experience of Brahma, Brahmanubhava. It is not a special experience. All other experiences can be improved, or can be changed. What about this experience? This is not even experience because it is Swarupa. Therefore, it cannot be changed. It cannot be contradicted by any other experience. So, therefore, that's why Prabhalya, that is strongest experience. That cannot be denied, and it is valid at all periods of time. Therefore, Vidvat Anubhava Agam Brahma iti, the knowledge of the wise person that I am limitless. And after knowing this, he still operates to the body. Then one may ask, how does he operate to the body? Does it means that duality? No. Duality, need to know, Advaitam is not opposed to Advaitam. In spite of Advaitam only. The wise man functioning to the Shariram, it is not opposed to his knowledge. If it is opposed to knowledge, then why did the Gita Bhagavan talked about Chita Prajna? Arjuna asked, Katam Kim Prabhasheta, Katam Vadeta. Then Bhagavan presented the characteristic, the Lakshana of Chita Prajna. So, after the knowledge, no other experience will appear as contradiction to the wise person, to the Jnani. So, after Brahma Darshanam, any other Anubhava, this Vyavahara Anubhava, this Jagat Anubhava, the Jnani also, like any other person, he walks, he eats, he does, of course, he does things which are common, leads a life which are common. So it doesn't contradict. There's no contradiction. One may think his knowledge is Advaita, that when he interacts with the objects, doesn't mean Advaita, no. That is why we say Advaitam in spite of Dvaitam. So that any other Anubhava doesn't stand contradicting the Brahmanubhava. Brahmanubhava cannot be contradicted by any other experience. In spite of interaction in the Jagat, he revels in Brahma. In fact, every Anubhava of the Jagat, every Anubhava what he has in life, every Anubhava he gains in the Jagat, it is validated by this Brahmanubhava. So therefore, Vidvat Anubhava, Vidvat Anubhava Prabhalyat, Vidvat Anubhava Prabhalyat, the Vidvat Anubhava, and of course Shastram also validates Vidvat Anubhava. So the experience of the Jnani, this person, Gita itself as Bhagavan, as the Stita Prajna Lakshana, Vidvat Anubhava. Prajhati Yata Kaman. All the kamas are Prajahati, given up. Is Atmaneva Atmana Santushtaha. Stita Prajnaha. Is Stita Prajnaha. Atmaneva Atmana Santushtaha, Stita Prajnaha. Sukeshu Anudvignamanaha. Sukeshu Vikatasprigaha. Vitaraha Bhayakrodaha. And he is Stitadigi. Atmaneva Atmana Santushtaha. Prajhati Yata Kaman Sarvan Parthamanogatan. Therefore, this is how the Jnani conducts his life, and yes, the Brahmanubhava, that Brahmanubhava doesn't contradict his interaction with the Jagat. The reason for asking Arjuna's question, now it becomes clear, will not, after discovering, after the self-discovery, will not Jnani will not be sitting just quietly in a place and just withdraw from the world, because interaction with the world means it is dukkam, pain is involved. That is why Arjuna, he has Satapragya say, Kabhasha, what is the definition? How do you define? Kim Prabhasheta, Kim Asita, Rajeta Kim, means how does he conduct himself? Does he conduct a different way than the other people? No. The same way as he had conducted before, the same way as the other people, he also interacts with the world. But he's a wise man. He knows the truth. So his Brahma Anubhava not contradicted by other Anubhava. So that is Vidvat Prabhalya. Vidvat Prabhalya, Balat. Therefore, other Anubhavas are all Anubhavas are displayed. They are Anubhava Abhasa only. So therefore, Shruti and Yukti also at every point it is dismissed. Therefore, it is all the way it is. It is Yukti should be supported. Yukti, when a Yukti is valid, is when it is undefeatable. If there is a stronger Yukti, then that Yukti, then the first Yukti becomes a weaker one. When there is a stronger Yukti. And if any other stronger Yukti is there, then that Yukti becomes a weaker one. A Yukti is stronger when it is not challenged by any other Yukti. So here, our Yukti is Yukti in keeping with the Shastram. So therefore, Vidvat Anubhava and Yukti, Gatadivata Anityatvam. That is a Yukti. What Yukti is required? Everything is available for our knowledge, our perception. Therefore, they must be Jadam. Everything means everything, whatever they have quoted, whatever the contentions were presented. All those things are Jada, Anatma we say. How? Because they are available for objectification. Gatadivata, like a Gata, Anityatvat. Therefore, Anityatvat, they are not Atma. Atma is Nityaha. So Gatadivata Anityatvat, all the views about the Atma, they are limited. They are Gatadivata Anityam, it is impermanent, therefore subject to change, subject to perception, subject to objectification. They are all Drishya. Gatadivata Nityatvat, Gatadivata Drishyatvat also we can say. Anityatvat, because when something is Drishyam, then it has to be Anitya. When something is Drishyam is objectification. It has to be Anityameva. That is a Yukti. So that Yukti is strongest Yukti dismisses all the other Yukti. So therefore, Shruti Yukti, Anubhava Prabhalyat, Anubhava Prabhalyat, therefore all these are Bhadi Tattvat, Putradiyanam, Anatmatvam, Siddham, it is Spashtam. Then the next one, that we will read in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Dhanyavadaha.
धन्यवाद
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.